Six Nations round two, England, Scotland. Scotland. Typical Scots. You bounce back after the utter disappointment, campaign in disarray 1 week. Bring England's, 12 match winning run to an end the next. Smiles at Murrayfield. Geez, what a difference a week makes. 31-20. The Scots have got the win, and I mean, we'll get to some stats at the end, but it's largely deserved, I think, in basically every facet of the game. Apart from the scrum. The scrum was under immense pressure, but Scotland did remarkably well in this game. I feel like the charge down on George Ford when he's gone for a drop goal as England camped down the Scottish end. Matt Fagerson charges it down. It ends up with Hugh Jones going in for his second try at the kind of early stages of the second half. That is, I don't want to sell the nail in the coffin, but if there's one kind of key moment of the game, that's the one. That's the moment of this game for the Scots. As the commentary team I had on says, it's essentially a 10-pointer. Should have been at least 3 for England. Ends up 7 for Scots. Desperation from Matt Fagerson. Support line from Hugh Jones. Cracking stuff from the Scots. We will go through some of the key events and stats. It's a hell of a game. And you guys let me know your thoughts. It was a great start for the Scots because they managed to get a fair bit of possession. It ended up in 3 points with the boot of Finn Russell, and he had his kicking boots on this week, which was a good one. After the last Calcutta Cup match not being his finest outing from the tee, 3 points to 0. And more Scottish pressure, man. The back line was looking slick. Last week in the torrential rain in Italy, they hardly had anything going. This week, dry ball, Stain, Jones, all these guys getting their back line going. Henry Arundel gets yellow carded. I only saw it live the first time, and then they showed one replay kind of from the back. From the back, it looked a bit harsh because he seemed to be back on his feet, contesting the ball, trying to shut down. But if the ref was going for his hands going beyond the ball, then maybe it's a fair kind of cynical one. I'd need to see it from another angle. But yellow card for Henry Arundel, which will become extra costly a bit later for England. But 15 against 14, and the Scots make no mistake, they are able to score. And it's a great score. It's like there's multiple cracking tries in this game. But the fact that the Scots went left, Roebuck shoots out of the line, shutting down Russell's time to pass to catch and pass. So he doesn't catch and pass. He just friggin' slaps the thing left to Hugh Jones. He had no time. If he'd caught the ball, he 100% gets caught by the Roebuck tackle. But a slap and a pass, and Hugh Jones is over. Wowee. 10 points to 0. The Scots are in front. The crowd is absolutely loving it. And then things go from bad to worse for England because Luke Cowan-Dickie, he's known for a pretty dumb, no arms, like grass cutter tackle, and he does one in this, which gets spotted by the officials. It leads to some Scottish territory. It leads to a line break out on the right for Kyle Stain. It's Jamie Dobby, shifting him the ball. And then they shift it back left quickly, and it is a long pass out wide to Jamie Ritchie, who does end up not really making it to the end of the first half with an injury. Hopefully it's not too serious, but yeah, it is second try time for the Scots. They are on cloud 9, 17 points to 0. Very costly yellow card for England. It's 14 points scored. The yellow card does finish. Scotland did concede a few kind of soft penalties. One for just changing a line at a kick. Then another one at the scrum. England did manage to kind of get their foot in the door of the game through this period of momentum. The forwards went close. The backs was George Ford. His wee kind of double pump of the ball bamboozled Tom Jordan, and they were able to go over through Arundel, who's just come out the bin. So 17 points to 7. That's a ridiculous amount of scoring for a game which is often, Calcutta Cups can sometimes they get crazy exciting like this one and blow out. And sometimes they're real arm wrestle, 1 point, less than 20 points aside games. This one, we're 17-7. And we're only 20 minutes into the game. It is a bonkers opening quarter. And then England closed the gap again when they won a penalty. And it started with, well, it was more Scotland conceding a penalty at the breakdown. It started with Chesham with a kind of nice intercept. So 17-10, it's hell for leather in this game. And I'm enjoying it because I've been up since 3 in the bloody morning watching the Irish take on the Italians. So if it had been a turgid one, I might have been drifting off. But no chance to drift off in this game. It is cracking stuff. And it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. 26 minutes. It's bonkers. You got Russell and Stain kind of weaving magic in the backline stutter steps and busting tackles. And then Russell, he dinks it over. The Scottish guys are chasing. Genge, the big loose head prop, is the first man tracking back for England, but he's a loose head prop. He's not really made for tracking back, and as he tries to throw his body over the ball, it just kind of bounces off his chest, and he's not able to secure it. So Ben White is able to grab it, dive on it, and it is the third try for the Scots. We're 26 minutes in. It's 24-10. Scottish crowd erupts once again. Murrayfield was absolutely humming for this one. England did win a scrum penalty in reply. Their scrum, as I said, was absolutely on top. And they interestingly didn't go for the points, even though it was in front. They went, because they're 14 points down, they went for touch, they mauled it, and they were shut down. So it's a good bit of defensive play for the Scots. Like, it's going to be all about the kind of sexy tries and whatnot they score, but that's a massive play to not allow England to immediately bounce back. And then, like... remember I mentioned that yellow card earlier, costly for England. Well, Henry Arundel, aerial ball contest with Kyle Stain, sees him get another yellow. Stain was really good in the air in this game, and he certainly jumped up. Well, Arundel didn't even really jump. I was going to say higher than Arundel, just kind of got himself in an awkward position. Referee Amasha Kelly's like, it's just a penalty, because he knows Arundel's got a yellow. He doesn't want to be giving a red if he can avoid it, but the TMO, I think, correctly comes in, and they come to the correct decision that is at least worthy of a yellow card. So it's a 20-minute yellow card for Henry Arundel. And yeah, England have got a 14-point deficit to overcome, and now they've got to do it with a man deficit for at least 20 minutes. They go into the sheds with the same scoreline, though. Possession and territory are with England. Like 58-42 is the territory, 51-49 is the possession, but so many stats are looking real peachy for Scotland. 7 line breaks to 2, 20 defenders beaten to 11. It's a lot of missed tackles from England. Couple of 100 run meters for the Scots, 2 turnovers, 1 to zip. And England, 10 turnovers conceded to nothing. Yeah, they've been dropping a bit of ball and getting turned over by the Scots. Second half, another scrum penalty. England this time does result in 3 points. It's a great bit of management. You eat the clock for the red card period. You narrow the gap. So 24 points to 13. And so much England pressure. It was just felt like an arm wrestle where at any moment the Scots are going to give. But they don't give. And to be fair, the English guys just kept knocking it on. Key moments when they finally did eventually kind of change tack and set for the drop goal. As I said, I feel like this is a key moment because you're at 24-13. It becomes 31-13 when Ford gets charged down from the droppy. It's good to see the Scots were so aware of it because we've seen George Ford do it to so many different teams. Matt Fagerson, who's come off the bench to replace the injured Jamie Ritchie, shoots out of the line. He's onside to charge down forward, and then he regathers the ball, quickly pops it to Jones, who's on his left, and Jones has got the gas to go over for the score, 31-13. That's the only Scottish scoring of the second half, but it's an absolutely crucial score. England, they got a long road back from 31-13. They did go back to 15 men with the expiration of the 20-minute red card. And the warnings for Scotland continued because they'd been warned earlier. If this player gives away, was it Xander, a penalty at scrum time again, he's going to get carded. Scots made a good call to replace their props, but then scrum penalties continued to the point where it was if you guys give away another scrum penalty, you're going to get a yellow card, which they didn't end up giving away, the Scots. They managed to, I don't think they knocked the ball on since that warning, so England didn't get a scrum feed from that point on. Scotland had a couple in which they just got the ball out of dodge, or they won one scrum penalty of their own, but yeah, it was looking pretty hairy. Mitchell had another snipe, ended up knocking it on. He had a couple of those from close range. Scots were able to exit. England had their own turn to hold on 67 minutes, where they held up the Scots after a load of phases to kind of keep the game alive. But both sides had their kind of muck-up moments. Darcy Graham with a quick tap when they had a penalty. Maybe just needed to slow things down a bit. You had a decent lead. The clock's on your side. Just go for touch and, eat the clock down, or take 3 points. Take 90 seconds, but no. Quick tap, ends up getting a penalty conceded for holding on. Freddie Stewart was going down the right wing from a nice, I think it was George Ford dink through into some space, but ended up getting bundled into touch before he could free the arms. So both sides muck up a bit. 75 minutes, Scotland hold England up, but they did score on 77 through Ben Earl out on the left. It was a really wide pass out to Pollock on the right, where he got the break, and then they shifted it back left, so Earl was able to get the score, but that is the final scoring of the game. So England, not enough to get within touching distance, not enough to get a losing bonus point. The Scots hang on. How do I say hang on? But they did kind of at the end, because they were in a lot of pressure, to deny England the bonus point, to secure their 4-try bonus point win. What a difference a week makes, honestly. I said some stats, like turnovers conceded finishes 20-5. England rotten in that area, I'm afraid. Turnovers won is 8-2. So it's a big, big defensive shift from the Scots in the second half. Defenders beaten 25-19. Line breaks 10-5. They even outkicked England, which is not something many sides do these days. 28 kicks to 26. So, yeah, and their line-out was functional this week, the Scots. 92%. If they can just get the scrum right, who knows? But Scotland being Scotland, I wouldn't bank on them putting in this kind of shift next week. We will see. We will see. Individuals, Rory Darge, 21 tackles, 3 turnovers, 1. Stain, man of the match, 6 defenders beaten. Bunch of high balls caught. Ben Earl was busy on the carry, scored a try. Genji at scrum time, obviously good, but yeah, what a crazy, crazy result in the Calcutta Cup. You guys let us know your thoughts on this one. Where did both these teams go from here? England's campaign look in a very different place after this loss, and Scotland's likewise. What a flip. Subscribe to the channel if you want more Six Nations coverage. We'll be doing a Team of the Week after the final game of the round tomorrow. Take care, folks, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.